Okay, so we're gonna try something different tonight on this stream. We're gonna craft or try to craft a theory. I have a whiteboard in my office, and on this whiteboard I have, well, I did have a few or five theories. Okay. Oh yeah. So I have three left. I have three theories on this one, on this whiteboard, and tonight we're going to work on number three. And that theory, as you can tell, is in the title. Uh, oh, let's see. It's going to be the theory is Renala that we see. The Renala that we see at the Raya Lucaria. Let's see. Let's go back there. Okay. So theory number three that I have: Renala is dead, and that's what we're going to be working on tonight. We're gonna try to prove, or I'm going to try to prove, that Renala is dead, and we're going to go through all the steps of my insanity, right? All right. So this is Renala, as we all know. She holds the Amber Egg, which has the great rune of the Unborn, the roots of the Elden Ring, right? But this isn't the real Renala. This isn't her. All right, so I guess. Hold on, let me see. Do I need to? I might have. Oh dang! I may not be able. Wait. Oh, that's Mesmer's. Might have to get. Do I still have her remembrance? Where are remembrances kept? Oh dang. Okay. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. All right. So, okay. Point number one. Point number one of why I think this isn't the real Renala, and I think she's been replaced by a mimic. At first, I was thinking Albinork, right? That she's been replaced by an Albinork, but her feet are fading, right? But another thing that I believe that she could also be an Albinork also is because she doesn't walk. We never see her use her feet, right? And her feet are just, they're dead, useless. And the only time we ever see her stand or do anything with her legs is when it's Ronnie, what is it? Summoning the phantasm of her or whatever, the summoned spirit of her. So number one, she's not using her feet, so she's artificial in some way. And mimics can use their feet. We've seen them, we fought them. So then she's got to be some type of albinorix then, some type of artificial life form that doesn't use her feet. Because why would she not use her feet in the cutscene? And I wish I could replay cutscenes, but in the cutscene she crawls towards the egg, right? She's crawling towards the egg, and the people that we know that crawl are also albinorix, or the first generation albinorix. Now, could she be like some type of mid generation? You know, maybe a mid somewhere in a different tier. Probably. Okay, so another thing, another reason I think that this isn't her is because of the way she sits. She sits like Latina or any of the female Abenorks that we can summon, right? Uh, Especially the one I can't get there yet. The one over here at the apostate derelict, we see that giant Albinork woman, right? She's sitting there just like we see Renala, in almost the exact same pose. I will say like probably a 92% match. I mean, we got the same skin tone, the uh, same way of holding her body in that exact same manner. So that's why I say that's another reason. So let's see. One, she doesn't use her feet. Two, she sits in the exact same manner as an Abenork woman. But you're probably wondering, like, well, anybody can sit that way, right? And they can, be whatever, that doesn't make them an Abenor. It doesn't make them an artificial life form of any way. Well, if you believe that, if you're gonna go with that reasoning, then you're gonna have to go with that reasoning for when we find EG dead, right? When we find EG dead in at the end of Ronnie's quest line, we find him in the same death pose or resting pose. He's dead at the time. He's also on fire. That's a different theory. But we find him in the same pose that we find puppets. Any type of puppet, especially Sullivan's puppets. If we go, let's go look at Sullivan's puppets. All right, if we go look at these, right? Let's see. Hold on. Let me put the compensator away. All right, there we go. Sullivan's puppets. I think it's this building. Yeah. Here we go. We find EG in this pose, right? Dead. Like the spirit's been taken out of him, whoever was controlling him. Right? So if we find, excuse me. So if we find EG in this manner, in the same pose, and we think that he might be a puppet, or it's kind of like a standard agreement around the community that EG was a puppet because he's in this pose. If we can do that for EG, why can't we not do that for Renala, right? If we see Renala sitting in the same fashion, same manner, let me see if we can find a dang, all the women that I can think of are over here. Wait, Geis is. Oh, I haven't beat him yet. Dang. Well, hold on. Let me find the place that I can summon Latina. I think I have her. Latina. Let's see. Latina. Oh, dang. You know what? We might just be able to see her. Here. Oh, shit. Okay. Where's the place that you can summon somebody? Oh, right here. That's right. I think I'm right. Yeah. Oh, well, you want to do the resting pose. Dang. These guys are like kicking my ass. Where are they? These guys. I see you now, bastard. Hold on. Okay. Alright, so she's not doing the resting pose. Man, I don't have a character that has... Well, anyways, the resting pose that we see her at when she's at her dog, when she's with her dog, um, she's she's sitting sideways, side saddle, I guess. Man, like any of the Abenor women that we find throughout the world. So so that's what number 2, number 3 reason. Hold on. And so another reason I think that Renala is dead. Let me see if I have her remembrance. That'd be another thing, another good thing. Wait. I want to go over here. Equipment. Okay, equipment.
Now go forth, little.
I guess I already did have it. Where is it? Here. The ring. Yes. Right here. Okay. So these right here are Renala's, the Queen's bracelets. Oops. Shit. All right, here we go. When Renala, head of both the academy, blah 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 blah, that has nothing to do with it. Renala was no champion after all. Okay, so they're disillusioned with her. Somebody's killed Renala. When did they kill her? I do not know. But we could. But hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. All right. So another reason why I think she's dead is because the wedding rings in this world are on the right hand. Yeah, that's the right hand. Okay. And if we manipulate the camera as we like to do, because I don't have any mods, we'll find a good camera. Pose. We'll use some light. There. Oh, I thought it was a wedding ring. Still a ring. It not being a wedding ring, but still a ring, is significant. Because she doesn't wear the ring here. If you look there, she has no ring on her finger. Oh man. Well, we know that means that we know that they killed her, either the Cuckoos or the Academy killed her and replaced her because she doesn't have the ring. And what's significant about the ring? You're wondering, oh, what the hell? Well, if you think about it, the Erd Tree, right? These are the remembrances are sewn or are absorbed into to the Erd tree, right? When you kill somebody of their significant that has a remembrance, their body or whatever, their spirit, the memory of them is absorbed into the Erd tree, and that's where we can pull it out. These memories, right? So, if Renala is still alive, if she's still alive, then what is the Erd tree reincarnating or remembering? Yeah, remembering because it's a remembrance. What is the Erd tree remembering then if she's still alive? If it has not absorbed her memories, her spirit, and or anything, right? If it's not hasn't done that at this point, if you're playing the game and your character has not killed Renala, then who who is it? That and there you go. So that's another thing. So the Urtu remembers that Renala or Renala's spirit had a ring on her pinky finger. And this, the imperfect mimic that they are, does not have the ring. So that tells me that at one point, somewhere she has been replaced. That's my theory. And I don't know if it's an Abanora. I don't know if it's a mimic. I don't know, or something. But the real Renala is dead because A, she can't use her feet, maybe an Abanora. Two, her pose, resting pose here, is the same as an Abanoric woman um, that we see around the world or whatever. And if we, well, the reason we can apply that is because if we apply that same type of thinking to E.G. being a Muppet, not a Muppet, a puppet, then we can apply the same pose we find her in as an Avenort. So there's 2 points of theories there. Number three, let's see, she's not wearing the ring. The ring that her remembrance that we sewn into the Erd tree. So if she's not dead, then what remembrance is the Erd tree remembering? What is it pulling out? There's no ring, so that's three. What was the other thing? Skin tone, maybe, I don't know. She's been inside, so I don't think that really count. Perhaps her size. Um, yeah, yeah. I think there's where that's at. I think that is my case. It's only three things, right? Three, right? Was it four? I don't remember now. I really should write this down. Not using her feet, the pose, her ring. Um, right, yeah. And also, let's think about it. Let's think about this also. If she is as powerful as they thought she was, or she claimed to be, well, why is she so weak-minded, right? Why is she so devastated by her husband leaving her, right? If she was a strong, independent warrior, queen, sorceress that changed her entire country, she took over her country with her power, right? And yet, being heartbroken this way is leaving her crushed, and destitute or whatever the word is, completely depressed that she can't do anything. That doesn't make any sense for the character, right? At this point, after all these years, she would have people heal emotionally and mentally, right? And who knows how many thousands of years she's been just sitting there. That doesn't make any sense either. There's no it doesn't fall in line with the rest of her character that we hear in the lore, right? And that's if you take the lore as 100% fact. So I think let's say at one point, we'll go with, hmm, let's see. All right, we'll say we'll start off first with that Renala was replaced by this imitation after Radagon left, right? So after after Radagon left, and say she was heartbroken for a while. Everybody gets heartbroken after for a while, and the academy and well, let's see, I guess the Cuckoo Knights, they noticed that, oh, this is a perfect time to usurp the throne. We can get rid of her. She's in isolation. Oh, that's another thing. Okay, we can get rid of her, and the mimic that we can't make a perfect replica of her, right? We can't make a perfect replica of her because her children will know and things like that. Would probably know the truth, maybe, right? They might. We know Ronnie doesn't know unless she was in on it too, but we there's no proof on that. That's complete speculation. But let's lock this imitation away and say, and so nobody can see her, right? You don't want people who knew Renala to meet the fake Renala and know that it isn't her, right? So we'll lock her away in the in the library, in the library, and uh, and the secret will be safe, right? Well, we know that none of her kids ever come to visit her apparently, because they're off busy, with their own plans or dead. The only one is Ronnie. But why wouldn't Ronnie know that her mother has been replaced? Unless either A, Ronnie doesn't care, B, Ronnie isn't that observant, which is, I would say, it would be outside of her character, or C, she was in on it. She she knows that she's been replaced, not in on replacing her mother, but knows that she's replaced, but still has to maintain appearances, maybe, to protect the Amber Egg, maybe. Hmm. Ronnie coming to the rescue when you fight Renala is probably the one thing I don't I can't explain just yet, right? Um, what would motivate somebody to go along with, well, to go along with the this facade? What would motivate Ronnie to do that? Okay, all right. Look at this. Think of this. If Ronnie knows that this is the fake queen, is she sleeping? She's snoring. Let me turn off this music. The music's cool, but man, sometimes it's just like you can't hear stuff with the music. She's sleeping. Or is she sleeping with her eyes open? She's sleeping with her eyes open. Sleeping with her eyes open. That's she's fake. That's not really her. She's an automaton spy. If Ronnie, let's see, Ronnie is playing along with this fake one because if people are focused on her mother and the supposed power that she may still have, maybe it keeps them from looking at Karia Manor. It keeps everybody's attention on Rhea Lucaria instead of the Karia Manor, right? So if people's attentions are here, that means they're not paying attention to what Ronnie's doing. And if Ronnie is doing stuff that we know what she's doing. We know she doesn't need interference. So I guess that might work out. You know, she plays along. She's in on it. She's on the gag. But yeah, unless also okay. So if if that doesn't work out, then oh well this okay. So then Renala was replaced before Radagon left to marry Marika. He was replaced. He replaced her after their marriage, and that's why he had the preceptors wear those masks of massive confidence. Right? That's what they're called. The ones to keep everybody from talking. Whatever. Where is it? I think that's what it's called, right? Massive confidence. It's somewhere. Maybe I don't have one. I mean, I have one. Dang it. My incomplete list of items. There's some. Oh, there it is. Mask of Confidence, right? When Radagon married Renali, he ordered the Karian magic preceptors to don these masks to make sure that to make it clear that all their matters were to be kept strictly private. And okay, so that would work. That would work. Radagon marries the real Renala. Radagon, if you still being influenced by America, and we know America is a ruthless son of a bitch, right? Okay, so you have Renala with her guard down with the man she loves, but the man she loves is essentially a puppet of yours. And we know that America takes vengeance literally on everybody, right? She's vengeful. If you have Renala who fought you in two wars to a standstill, if you believe that America was Radagon at the time, if she fought your champion to a standstill that you have control over, how would you get your revenge? One night they're sleeping, dun dead. Renala's dead. What do you need to do? You need to replace her immediately. But this replacement, okay, this replacement has to learn Renala's ways, got to learn Renala's speech, how she works, how she thinks, how she acts, her mannerisms and stuff like that, right? How she carries herself. But she's a queen. She has all these attendants. She has all these, people that watch her and take care of her. Boom, mass confidence. Oh, Radagon's like, hey, y'all gonna have to keep secret that why the queen is acting kind of weird, a little bit suspicious. You think? Shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? She keeps him quiet. She keeps him quiet. He keeps him. He keeps him quiet so she can still learn, and they can't say nothing because they're still loyal to Renala, and now they're loyal to their king consort, and so they don't say a word, and they watch. Imagine what these guys saw. At first, I always thought maybe they saw Radagon, switch forms between America and himself. But no, I don't believe that. I don't believe that anymore. I am in the camp that Radagon is an independent person since Shadow of the Erdtree. Because when we see that Saint Trina can exist on her own, apart from Mikla, that tells me that Radagon is Marika, but Marika is not Radagon. That's a whole nother story. But anyways, back to it. So, yeah, so where was I? Dang, I guess I tried. Anyways, so that's why they wear these masks. Radagon killed Renala. That's why her children, Ronnie. Okay, that explains why Ronnie wouldn't know. Ronnie wouldn't know that her mother is dead. Okay, so let's say like he kills her after she gives birth to the three, Rygard, Radon, and Ranni. And then he gets rid of her. Then he replaces her. And so Ronnie growing up, being infant, maybe a toddler, we don't know what the ages spread out between them. Say they're 1 year apart. Either way, if they're before like 10 years old, maybe 7, either one of them, any of the children, they would not know as adults that their mother has been replaced. Because think back to your parents. Imagine if one was replaced with a replica. Your memories of your parents are so vague at this point. And imagine you're living thousands of years now, like the demigods. How much more vague would your memories be? Right? So, yeah, there you go. I think that's oh yeah, that's a reason. That's another good reason, I think, why this is not the real Renala. She's just left here with her instructions to hold the egg. Hold the egg of reincarnation. Yeah. I think that's it. I think that's pretty good, right? So she's definitely dead, because if she died, her spirit went into the herb tree, absorbed, and the herb tree is like the herb tree is like, oh, she has a ring on her finger, and that's why the hands or whatever, the gloves have the ring, but she does not, right? Let me make sure. Let me double check. I'm not crazy. Okay, yeah, I'm not crazy. Yeah, no ring on her finger, like on the gloves. Right there, you can see it right there. All right, fantastic. That's what I'm talking about. Lore crafting. That is peak lore crafting. I regret saying that. Sorry. That is phenomenal, amazing lore crafting. Welcome to the fake Renala. This is totally fake, man. After everything I said, who would disagree with me? How could you? How could you disagree with me? Hmm. I think that theory holds a lot of water. A lot of water. Maybe. I think so. I'm going to put myself in the 99.99 percentile of yes, this is not really her. And yeah, so after the birth of her children, she was replaced. Boom. Radagon had done what he was supposed to do. She had lost her usefulness. It was time to replace her. Right? And that's why she was no champion at all. That's why when he left her, no further instructions, nothing. A Muppet, not a puppet, a Muppet. It's kind of and that would fit in with the tragic stories of everything that we hear in Elden Ring. All the tragic stories in Elden Ring, that would be another perfect one too. I think there's only one happy ending, maybe, yeah, one, and it's Nefeli lose, but yeah, the tragedy of Renala. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna make that a video. I'm gonna record a bunch of stuff. I'll make it a video, and yeah, we'll see. We'll call it the tragedy of Renala. Yes, perfect, yes, perfect. I think so. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, that's it for tonight, and I'll be back tomorrow, and we'll play some more games. We'll play some more Elden Ring. But yeah, that's pretty good.